Hey everybody, it's Charmel. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you guys how I do my DIY lace closure and lace frontal wigs. So let's jump right into it. Today's video is sponsored by Janet Collection, and they are now offering a new DIY wig kit with all the accessories that you'll need to do your own wigs. So when you open your box, the first thing you'll get is weave glue, just in case you want to do a quick weave wig. You also get 2 duck clips. You get 10 T-pins and 2 curved needle pins for sewing. You get all the accessories for a wig stand that you can like clamp on a table. I have my own wig stand, so I didn't use this, but if you don't have a wig stand, you do get one. It comes with thread and also a really nice wig cap. It's like a netted mesh wig cap with combs and adjustable bands. And last but not least, you will get a 22-inch canvas wig head. This kit can be purchased at your local beauty supply store or an online beauty supply store, and it retails for $35 to $40, which is an awesome steal. I already have a canvas head and a wig stand, and I purchased my things like on their own over time. And I think for my canvas head alone, I spent like $30 on Amazon. Then for like my wig stand, I may have spent another $20. So being that you can buy all of this all together for $35 to $40 is an absolute steal. So now we're going to get into the actual details on how I personally make my DIY wigs. So I'm going to start by placing the wig cap over the canvas head. I'm going to take 3 T-pins. I'm going to put one on each ear tab and then one in the back. I'm going to be using is also from Janet Collection. It is their Brazilian bundle hair, 3 bundles with the temple lace frontal. I did a full in-depth review about this, so I'll link that down below if you guys want to check that out. But this frontal is a temple frontal, so it has like a closure in the middle and then like some lace on the sides. I cut the sides off just to make it a regular closure, just because I'm more of a closure wearer. So I'm just going to make this a regular closure wig. So I'm going to start by placing that closure in the center of the wig cap. I'm going to pull it a little forward past the actual cap, and then I'm going to pin each side with a T-pin, and then I'm also going to pin it and secure it in the back. So I'm going to begin my first stitch right at the very edge of the wig cap, and I'm going to sew through the wig cap and the corner of that closure, and I'm going to pull my needle through the thread just so that it makes a loop, and it just adds an extra hold, like more, it makes it more secure. So I'm going to pull that through. Then I'm going to do my next stitch right through that, and I'm going to again make a loop between the 2 stitches. I hope that's making sense, but you'll see as I pull it through there's a small loop. And when I do my closure, I like to make my stitches really close together. It makes the closure lay flatter, and it just makes your wig more secure. So I'm just going to go around and continue to do the same stitch pattern all the way to the back middle portion of the closure where that T-pin is, and then I'm going to end it there and secure it before I start on the other side. And so this is how it should look, and now I'm just going to turn that wig head around and do the exact same thing on the other side. I don't like to go all the way around. I like to start at the front and then go to the back on each side, also known as the tension method. And again, I just feel like doing it this way makes the closure lay a lot flatter than just taking the stitch all the way around. So yeah. Now I'm going to move on to the rest of the wig. I personally like to sew a perimeter track around my wig cap. I feel like it just fills in any potential gaps than just kind of starting going like the zigzag back and forth. So I do one track from one end of the closure all the way around to the other end, and I like to start exactly at the corner of that closure, and I'm just going to start stitching along the very edge of the wig cap. So my stitch method, when I do my perimeter track, I like to knot it as I go. So I like to, you see I'm wrapping that thread around the needle and pulling it through, and then this is going to create a knot where I just did that stitch at. I'm hoping this is making sense, but I do the knot method around the perimeter just because I feel like as I wear my wigs over time, my perimeter area is where my tracks seem to get loose the quickest. So around the perimeter of my wig, I always like to make sure that the wefts are super secure, because that's where a lot of pulling and tugging and, you know, just manipulation goes on around the perimeter. So yeah, I'm just going to continue stitching that all the way around to the other end. And so this is how it looks once that track is sewn down. As you see, it goes from one side all the way to the other side, and again, this just kind of prevents any potential gaps. So now I'm going to start filling in the rest of my wig. I'm going to start at the very bottom, and I'm just going to get my stitch started. So I basically just kind of go in the back and forth method. I'm going to secure one end and yeah, get to sewing. So for my middle tracks, I don't knot as I go. I just kind of sew around the weft, and I make sure that I keep my stitch close together. You don't want to spread it out too much or your tracks will be super loose. So I loop around the weft, and again, I keep my stitch pretty close, and then at the end I will secure it with a knot. And I also do the fold over method. I do not cut my weft. So once I get to the end, I'm just going to fold that over, as you guys can see. And then I'm going to stitch through that little fold at the end. And then I'm going to wrap my thread around the needle a couple times, pull through. That's going to create a knot and secure that folded over portion. And I actually do 2 knots at the end just to make sure that it's really secure, and then I go back to looping around the wefts. And this is how it looks with one bundle sewn in, and then I'm going to take my next bundle and just continue the same technique. So once I get to the top and I start running out of space, this is where I begin to cut my wefts. So for the most part, I'm doing the same method as far as my stitching goes, but once I get to the ends, I will cut the wefts so that it fits in the area. I don't like to do the fold over method at the top just because I don't want it to be lumpy. I feel like you can fold it over, but I don't know, I just personally just rather cut it than trying to sew down that fold. It's just a lot easier and it's guaranteed to be flat at the top. And you want to make sure you fill in that space completely, even if that means sewing on to the lace closure. Yeah, you don't want there to be any wig space between the lace closure and the weft. And again, this method also works with frontals. I personally just prefer closures, but you would basically do the same thing with a frontal as well. And so this is how your wig will look once you are finished. From here, you can finish customizing the unit, whether you have a frontal and you want to do some tweezing, whether you want to color it, whatever you want. Also, remember that you want to cut out that pocket of the wig cap that is underneath the lace closure. Always remember to cut that out. And now I'm just going to show you guys how I plop this wig on my head. I did darken my roots, but I have to finish customizing it, so it's not all the way complete. But I just want to show you guys how it wears. This method allows me to kind of pop the wig on and off, especially with this type of wig cap. I prefer this wig cap over the dome wig caps. With the dome wig caps, I feel like I have to either add an elastic band or sew it down, but with the mesh netted wig caps and with the combs and everything, I just put on my wig grip and place my wig on my head and it is good to go. Again, this wig is not like completely finished and installed properly, but you get the gist. So yeah, this is just an updated video on how I create my units. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to check out Janet Collection and their DIY wig cap. All the details will be listed down below, and I'll see you ladies next time. Bye.